Hi there, and welcome to an Insomnia Insight that I hope will bring a lot of value to you. This is an episode that came about for the following reason, actually. Let's just jump right in here. Not too long ago, I made an episode called Insomnia Insight number 393, where I presented this roadmap from insomnia to immunity, or from Oz, where you're kind of completely bewildered, you have no clue what's going on, to a place where you're what I call immune to insomnia. And, you know, when I did this, one of the questions that came up from Dawn, if you hear this, Dawn asked this, and some other people asked this too, they were kind of like, how do I know if I'm there? Like, I've slept well for some time, but I'm not really sure. Am I like kind of completely immune to insomnia? And, you know, after some pondering and thinking, I realized there was actually kind of a perfect way to know if you are, quote unquote, immune to insomnia. And this answer, actually, credit where it's due, comes from Alina. And she actually says it in Talking Insomnia 52. If you want to check that out, she says it towards the end of that interview. So we're going to get to it in this episode. So the goal of this episode is kind of like, this is really for someone who has kind of spent some time here, maybe learned quite a bit and is doing better. But if you're not really sure if, like, should I kind of stay learning, or should I maybe unsubscribe, or if you're in, like, maybe if you're my client and you're like, should I graduate from this program? This is for you to kind of know if that maybe you are at a place where you will actually never go back to the rabbit hole again. And so, you know, to get there, we need to just first understand, like, well, what do I mean when I use the word immunity? And I will say that it's kind of the best I've come up with. It's not, there is a problem with the word immunity, which it can imply that there's some kind of like illness or you know, problem like that, which there of course isn't. But on the flip side, the word immunity, it's a strong word that says that, yes, this can never happen to me anymore. So that's why I still use the word immunity. Now, what do I mean by the word immunity? Well, I mean that what I just said, that you know, you will have nights of little sleep for some reason. Maybe you're stressed or some random reason. Like, that will happen to everyone. That will happen to you, to all of us humans, right? But there will never ever be a struggle again. That's what I mean when I say immunity. And I think it is real. Like, I know myself that I can never have insomnia. You know, I have nights now when I'm like stressed, excited. Like, I think I might sleep very little, but I will never have insomnia, because I understand it so well that I have immunity. And I know a lot of people have said, like Riley, for example, who was a guest, and Alina has, you know, mentioned it himself. So it is real. But that said, again, how do you know if that's where you're at? Okay, so I mentioned two other things that can come up, maybe mainly just to kind of build up some you know, what do you call that? Like, you know, some excitement or something to look forward to as we look at for the answer here. But one of them is like, okay, how about this one? You've slept well for a amount of time. Like, I've slept well for several weeks, let's say. Is that how I know? No, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. You know, oftentimes people can have this sort of truce where you go actually for a long time without too much trouble sleeping, but there's still some apprehension there. And you can still have go back to having a lot of trouble sleeping, even if you've slept well for a long time. That is not the answer. How about this one? You found these techniques that work. You know, if I have trouble sleeping, I just do this and it takes care of it. That's also not the answer, because there's this implied controllability there that you can sort of control sleep. And eventually these sort of techniques, if you look at something as a technique, this will make me sleep. Eventually there will be some type of like extra stress that time, or some anxiety or preoccupation, or like questioning, will this technique work? And then it doesn't, quote unquote, work. So that is also not the answer. So what is the answer? Well, the answer actually lies in how you react to the following statement. Okay, so I'm going to read a statement and you can check how you react. Check how you react as you hear this statement. There's nothing I can do to sleep better. There's nothing I can do to sleep or to sleep better. How did you react as I read this? This will tell you a whole lot. If your reaction to that was somehow like you felt scared, or like almost like hopeless, or like sad, or like, oh my gosh, something like that, then that simply means that you need a little bit more education, a little bit more time, a little more understanding. Okay, it doesn't make sense to you right now because you're looking for the thing that's going to help you. And reading or hearing, there's nothing you can do to sleep better. It just sounds kind of like just scary and like out of the blue and like, oh my gosh, right? That doesn't mean anything except that you just need a little bit more time. Okay. On the flip side, when you hear there's nothing I can do to sleep better, and your reaction became kind of relief. Oh, there's nothing I need to do. That's so true. If that just feels, if it feels true to you and you feel kind of free when you hear that and liberated, there's nothing I need to do. There's nothing I can do. That is it. To me, that is it. Then you're immune to insomnia. You know there's nothing you can do or need to do or should do. So even when you have nights where, you're really struggling, you're up all night or something like that, some random thing happened, you are just not going to try to do anything because you know this statement to be true. And I've come to use this when I coach, and sometimes people ask me like, is it time for me to unsubscribe from bedtime, or should I leave this program? Then I do exactly this. I say, how do you react to this statement? And if my client says, you know what, this seems true to me, then I know they're ready. If they're still like, I don't think this sounds kind of scared to me, then I'm like, okay, no problem. Just need to do a little bit more education, etc. So I hope this helped you. If you have any questions about it, please post them in the comments section. And if you find, you like the content here and you just feel like, I think I need a little bit more help, a little bit more handholding and support, etc. on my path to immunity, then of course, you just head over to thesleepcoachschool.com and you can find ways that you can work with myself. I'd be super happy to have you as a client. So with that said, yeah, just hope you have a good night. Let me know what you thought about this episode, and we shall go from there. Take it easy.